I want to share something with you today that's really weighed on my mind and heart lately. And it's what I think about America now that we have been traveling for over 2.5 years. And we've been living in Spain for the last 6 months. And I've noticed a lot and I've observed a lot. And I hope I've grown a lot too. This is not about criticizing or making negative comparisons between countries. This is really about how traveling to other cultures has really opened my eyes to a lot of things, and it's made me appreciate a lot of aspects of America while also giving me a lot of wisdom and gifts from experiencing other cultures. Travel makes one modest. You see what a tiny place you occupy in the world. There are so many things that I really appreciate from America. I love the entrepreneurial spirit, the go-get-'em kind of attitude, the innovation that takes place in America and also in the hearts of the people. I love how convenient everything is. You can literally buy anything at any time of day or night. You can find everything you need and it's all just right at your fingertips. Very convenient. I really appreciate the I can do anything attitude, kind of the go get 'em. I think it's really remarkable. And I think it's something that is just within the American spirit. And of course, the natural beauty, the national parks, in the West, Yellowstone, one of my favorite places of all time, Grand Tetons and the Appalachian Mountains. And I mean, there's just some incredible landscapes and diversity in the landscapes, from the deserts to the lush forests to tropics down in Florida. And I really appreciate the freedom to reinvent yourself and the passion to follow your purpose. This is a beautiful thing within the American people. One of the most profound differences between America and other countries I've been to is the pace of life. America tends to be very fast paced, very. And I feel like that's kind of an energy that feeds off of each other, ramping up. And in other countries, slowing down and having more of a life-work balance, but also just an attitude toward life of slowing down is really eye-opening to me. And I really appreciate it because I like to slow down, and I am slower by my nature. And so I really value that not everything has to be done so rapidly. Stores usually are closed on Sunday, which at first was a little hard to get used to. And in some countries, France and Spain, they are closed also in the middle of the day for lunch. And sometimes the store says they're going to be open on Google Maps, and then you get there and they're just closed. I don't know why, they just are. So on one aspect, it's a little inconvenient. Where in America, everything's always open. But on the other side, after being away from America for some time, I do appreciate it. I was really frustrated by it in the beginning, but now I understand why. It's because people value their time and their own life more than they do working. There is a sense in other countries that living is very much to be enjoyed, and that you don't work just to work for the sake of working. That living is the top priority, not working. I think the standard of what makes happiness is much different in other countries versus America. In America, I always felt like the standard of success was how many things that you owned and how much money you had in the bank, and your looks, and this was kind of like a superficial standard of success. And I feel like in other countries, the standard of success is more happiness. And happiness is not correlated with what you own. Happiness is a state of mind, an emotion, a feeling, and it comes from lots of things. Okay, let's talk about a big one, and that's cost of living. Cost of living is pretty high in America. Now, there are countries where cost of living is quite high as well, but overall, I feel like the cost of living in America is very high when you include things like auto insurance, health insurance, which we'll talk about in a minute. Price of food is very high in America, whether it's grocery store or a restaurant. Clothes are cheap in America. Clothes are really cheap in America. But the cost of living, I think, is significantly more affordable in other countries. Not all, but in most. Healthcare. Let's talk about healthcare. This is the biggest difference. The biggest difference is the healthcare. So if you're in America, you already know. You already know what you're dealing with. And bless, it's a lot. Healthcare in America is very complicated. It's very expensive. Everything from a doctor's visit to medicine to, heaven forbid, you need a surgery or to be hospitalized. Very expensive and not great quality from my experience. Where in other countries, because we have traveled, I just go to a doctor. I just call up and look at Google reviews, call up and make an appointment, and I'm always in within a day or so. Like, it's so easy. Like, I just needed a mammogram, which in America, that would be a whole ordeal. You'd be scheduled out for months, maybe even a year out. I looked it up. I scheduled it the next day, and it was free. Free. That was here in Spain. But Other doctors, like when I go to the doctor, it's around the country, right around $60 to $80 for a doctor's visit. Getting a cavity filled is, $30 to $60. Like everything is just so affordable. My medication that I take in America, I have one inhaler. I'll just give one example. I have an inhaler that is over $900 now in America, okay? It's $18. $18, and it's the same manufacturer. Quality of food is a big difference. The quality of food, I think, in America is not up to par with other countries, especially produce. And I think it's because other countries have laws that regulate what can go into the food and also how the food is grown. But the quality of food, again, especially produce, is really good in other countries that I've been to. What traveling abroad has really taught me is it's given me distance and time. So now my perspective on America can kind of fill out and take shape. America has some amazing things about it, like its innovation, but it also has some blind spots, like the hustle culture can be very damaging to mental health, I think. Different doesn't mean better or worse. It's just different. And every country has pros and cons. There is no perfect. There is no perfect country, no perfect way to live. There's a give and take, no matter where you go in the world. I've gained so much wisdom from experiencing other cultures and meeting people around the world. This is invaluable because it shapes and has shaped who I am, and I think will continue to shape who I am. It's making me more adaptable and tolerant to unfamiliar things, whether it's food or languages or cultures. And I think being adaptable is a tremendous gift that comes from traveling. I am truly grateful for the opportunity I have had to experience various countries and cultures. And it really has opened my eyes to how small my little corner of the world was. And when you get out there and they're so vast and so much diversity and differences all around the world in every way, I realize how little I really know. And not just about the world, but about myself. And I feel very fortunate to be able to learn and to grow. Wherever you are in the world, I'm sending you love, peace, and happiness. Have a beautiful day, my friend.